and welcome into episode 3 of Purple Tie Guy Sports. I, of course, am the guy in the purple tie. My name is Brandon Pavlina. Thank you so much for tuning in, wherever and however you are doing so. This is truly the dog days of sports media, late July, early August. Just a slow time in the sports world. So not a whole lot to get into, just 2 topics I want to cover this week. So without wasting any more time, let's dive right into the first topic. It's the story that has basically engulfed sports media for the last 2 weeks or so, just further demonstrating how slow this time of year is in sports. Kyrie Irving having requested a trade from the Cleveland Cavaliers. And while I initially thought it was possible that Cleveland wouldn't move on from Kyrie, it's becoming more and more clear that bridges are being burned, and there's a really good chance that we will see Irving in a different uniform at the start of next season. You know, whether it was the coming home Snapchat, a Cleveland television station putting out a commercial that took a direct shot at Kyrie, or of course, most recently, the video of Steph and Kyrie mocking LeBron's infamous Instagram video at Harrison Barnes' wedding. And it's all just a bummer, really, because the departure of Kyrie, to me, basically means that Cleveland will have no chance against the Warriors in the finals next year. And yes, I do think it's safe to assume that those will be the 2 teams squaring off at the end of next season. But the biggest reason why I think it takes away from Cleveland's chances is because when you're trading a superstar caliber player like Kyrie, it's very unlikely that you will get enough value in return, or at least not the kind of value that would help to make an immediate impact on your team. Just take a look at 3 of the most recent trades of NBA superstars. You've Paul George being traded to the Thunder, Jimmy Butler being traded to the Timberwolves, and of course, Chris Paul being traded to the Rockets. I don't think that anybody would say that any one of the teams that shipped off their superstar player is in better shape now than they were prior to the trade. And the Cavaliers with LeBron are always in win-now mode, and they should be now more than ever, truthfully, if LeBron is to leave after this season. And they need to be better than they were this past year to even have a chance against the Warriors, considering they lost 4-1. And moving on from Kyrie makes the Cavaliers' chances of improving seemingly bleak. And furthermore, over the last 2 NBA Finals, Kyrie has averaged just over 28 points per game. That's a lot of points, and a lot of points that Cleveland is going to have a really hard time trying to replace. Michael Jordan made news this week with some comments he made during the Q&A portion of his basketball camp, Michael Jordan Flight School in Santa Barbara, California. And I feel like this happens every year, where Jordan answers some questions from kids at one of his camps, and then it becomes a talking point for sports media outlets, which I guess just speaks to how significant Michael Jordan is even still today in the world of sports. The first comment that he made was regarding LeBron, where Jordan was asked if he would rank LeBron ahead of Kobe on the all-time list, to which Jordan said no, and he also said that there's something about 5 that beats 3. And to me, that just felt like an unnecessary shot at LeBron. You know, Jordan could have talked about his style of play, or he could have even just said no, or anything else, really. But instead, he goes straight for the rings, which you can't really blame Jordan for. I mean, that has seemingly become the standard for which players are judged nowadays. But I just hope that Jordan remembers that if that is the standard, that Bill Russell has 11 rings to Jordan's 6. And the second comment that Jordan made, and he's gotten some flack for, was his response to LeVar Ball having said that he could beat Jordan one-on-one. And Jordan's response was that Ball couldn't beat him even if he was one-legged. And everybody has come out and said, how could you respond to that? It doesn't even deserve a response. That's a win for LeVar Ball to even have addressed it. But if you heard the full quote, Jordan prefaces his response by saying, it doesn't deserve a response, but I'm going to give it to you because you asked the question. So he acknowledged that he shouldn't respond, but he was asked a question by a kid. So for the people who have a problem with his answer, Would you rather him have just shut the kid down and told the kid, no, I'm not going to answer your question? Because to me, that would have been more aggressive and much more rude to do to a kid than to just simply answer the question. That's going to do it for episode 3 of Purple Tie Guy Sports. Once again, I am the guy in the purple tie. My name is Brandon Pavlina. Thank you so much for tuning in, wherever and however you did so. And I'll talk to you again soon.